What is going on, guys? We are back playing some more Surviving with Thaumcraft 5. And today, guys, we're going to be messing around with using golems to automate a wheat farm, which I'm pretty excited about because it means we finally get to dive into the Golemancy tab. Now, we did do a little bit of work with this in the previous episode just because we needed to get the biothalmic mind, but we didn't actually get to work with golems at all. So I'm really excited about that. But before we jump into that, there is one thing that I want to point out, and hopefully you've already been able to notice it, but the audio quality for the video should be significantly better now, especially in terms of the white noise that you're going to be hearing. So I did make some improvements to the audio setup that I have right now. I did upgrade to a Blue Yeti a couple months ago, and just recently I got a shock mount for it, a pop filter, and I got an arm for all of that to go on. So there should be pretty much no more white noise, and the audio quality should be really high now. So hopefully that will make the videos a little bit more enjoyable for you guys. And I do want to say thank you to you guys because the only reason I was able to upgrade this is because I always take any money that the channel makes through ads, and I always put that back into the channel. I never want to use it on anything for myself, so that's what I use to get my new mic, the arm, the shock mount, and the pop filter. So thank you to you guys for supporting the series as always. And now I guess we can jump into things because that was my little, rambling on at the beginning of the video. I apologize if you came here just for an informative video, but I had to get that out of the way. So we have a lot of stuff over in this chest that we're going to be working with today, and I did go ahead and make the biothalmic mind we're going to be using for the episode a little bit beforehand because we did do the crafting and infusion for that last episode, and I didn't feel like going through all of that again. But don't worry, there's plenty of crafting to do. So the first thing of research that we're going to be getting is going to be for one of the seals, and there are a lot of seals that we have to get today. So I'm just assuming that if you guys do not have anything in the Golemancy tab, you can go back to the previous video and look at the research. But if you need the Golem Mastery, that's just going to be experience levels along with the Golem controlling seals. And then we have the Control Seal Collect, which again is just going to be experience levels. And then we finally come to the Control Seal Use. Now we do have to research this just to get the Control Seal Harvest for today. We're not actually going to be using the Control Seal Use, but the research for that is going to be right here. It's really simple to do. Unfortunately, the rest of the ones that we're going to do today are not actually going to be this simple. But as always, feel free to pause the video if you want to copy this research for your own, and we can research that. Now there is a lot of other research that needs to be done today. We're going to be doing the Control Seal Store, which we can purchase with 3 experience levels. We can do the Control Seal Harvest, and then we're going to need the Control Seal Provide. So I'm going to get the Control Seal Empty then, and then we need to get a little bit more experience for the Control Seal Provide, but I am going to hop off camera, do the Control Seal Harvest, get the experience for the Control Seal Provide, then we should be good to jump into the crafting, all that good stuff. We can start making some golems and set those up. Okay guys, so we are back. Now I just finished doing the research for the harvesting seal, so you can pause the video again if you want to see this one. This one was actually surprisingly easy. I didn't think it would be this easy, but we can grab that. We can finish researching that, and then I went out and killed a zombie right outside the base. I actually got a common treasure from it too, along with the XP that we needed. So let's see what's inside of this right now. So we got the fancy magical noise, got the rotten flesh earlier from killing it, but then we got some gold coins, a gold ingot, and a splash potion of fire resistance. So not actually that bad. A decent amount of gold coins, so can't complain about that. It was just common treasure. But what we're gonna have to do now is a lot of crafting. So I guess we can also go into the Thaumanomicon and get the Control Seal Provide. So I think I mentioned this already, but we're going to be using specifically Provide, Store, Harvest, and Collect today. So pretty much it's going to be the golem will harvest things, which means it's going to break them, then it will collect what it broke, and it will either replant them, or it'll store anything extra into a chest, and it's going to use the store to tell it where to put it. And then along with that, it's going to use Provide to allow the golem to take out any seeds if it doesn't get, enough of them, to actually replant all of its crops. So those are the reasons we're using all those, and we're going to start from the same base point for all of these, which means we're going to be using Night Ore, Clay, Magic Tallow, and Red Rose. And this recipe is pretty much going to offer us 3 each time we do it. So I'm going to be doing it twice. And there we go. So you just need a little bit of Ordo, a little bit of Ignis, but then we get blank seals. Like I said, each one gives you 3. So we're going to be getting 6 of those. And then we're going to be crafting those through different means, whether it's infusion or just throwing it into the Crucible to actually get it to the more specific versions of that. So I guess what we can do now is start working on getting these before we even worry about the golem. So the first one that we can get is going to be the control seal collect, because this one's really easy. It just takes some desdirium, and that's in the Crucible, so we can run on over to the automated Crucible setup, the Thaumatorium. We can throw it in there, and then we can go to the control seal collect. We can click on that and pop it out. Now I do know that in this tab there is the hungry chest. I actually don't have enough experience to get it right now, but it has been suggested that I put it right in front of this so that it collects anything that pops out, just so I don't lose it. Do not worry, I will do that eventually. I have not forgotten about that suggestion, even though it was made like 5 to 7 episodes ago. But yeah, so we got one seal down. That was probably the easiest one we're going to have. The next one that we're going to have to deal with is going to be the control seal store, which I guess is another easy one. So it's going to be blank seal and then a Versio. So we can actually go back over here. I should have scrolled down a little bit just to see what we had as an option. No, okay, just made an extra control seal collect. That was my bad. So we want to deselect that before we throw this in there. Okay, so there we go, control seal store. It's a good thing I have 2 extra seals than we're going to need today. The next one that we're going to be going with is going to be, where is it? The control seal harvest. Now this one is going to be an infusion. It's really not that difficult to do. It's going to be perfectly symmetrical because it's only going to need 6 pedestals. We use a blank seal in the center, and then it just requires 4 Herba, Sensus, and Humanus. And the instability is negligible, which is great. So we're going to throw the blank seal in the very center over here. And then I can run over and grab, I have all the stuff in this chest over here as usual. And I will drop the extra control seal in there. And so we got all of that stuff right here. It did take a little bit to go and gather all of this, but wasn't too bad. So I guess we can just go like this. I'm too lazy to get rid of all the extra pedestals, so just bear with me with that one for a little bit, because we had to use all 12 of them that are out here for an infusion last episode, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but we had to do it. Okay, so there we go, and we should have everything already over in the void jars. So let's just get that running. We can watch to make sure nothing pops off, but I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. And it should be really quick, which is great, because I hate taking forever to watch these. I feel like it's really boring on camera. I just want to make sure nothing does pop off, but because it's negligible, I don't think it'll be an issue. So then the next one that we're going to have to do is going to be the control seal provide, which is relatively easy to do, but we require the advanced control seal that's empty, which comes from a control seal that's empty, which comes from a blank seal. So that's a lot of just grabbing things and putting it back in the Crucible. So we're going to take a blank seal, we're going to make sure we deselect this time, and we're going to scroll down until we get to it should be the control seal empty. So we're going to click on that, and then it's going to pop out. When did we get that? When did we get the potion of weakness? I feel like this is going to crash me if I click that. I really feel like it is. I don't know. Where did that come from? Was that in my inventory the whole time? There's no way. There's absolutely no way. What? When I go over that, it pops up? What? Okay, you know what? I give up. I give up on that one. So we got the control seal empty. We're throwing in the advanced control seal empty. We'll get that. Just some cognito and census. And then we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to throw the control seal empty in there, and then we're going to get the the control seal provide from that, just permutatio and desdirium. And now we should have all 4 of them right here, which is great. We have 1 extra blank seal. We should have 2, but I kind of screwed up a little bit, so that can go right back over there. And now we're going to take some nether quartz and a stick, and we're going to use that to make the Golemancy bell. The Golemancer's bell, again, just takes some air and ordo. We can grab that, and that's going to allow us to both pretty much see any of these seals that we have down. We would be able to see it if we had another seal in our hand, but once we throw all of these down, I still want to be able to access them. It'll also allow us to make our golems follow us if we want to do that, or make them not follow us, things like that. But all we're going to be using it for today is just so that we can see all the different seals we have down. And now we need to actually make the golem, the most important part of this. So I want to say it should be under the Clockwork Mines portion of it. Yeah, so it's right here. So we need to make the thing to assemble the golem, which is going to be the Golem Press, and it's actually not that annoying to make. It's going to be a stone table, an anvil, a cauldron, a piston, and the iron bars are going to be on top of the piston. So we can grab all of that stuff out from right here. And I also have an emptying Essentia transfuser, because we are going to need machina, whatever you want to call it, to actually go in here, and it depends on how advanced the golem is, but it's going to require at least some of that, whether it be transferred through the air or through, you know, an actual pipe. I'm going to transfer through the air, but I might need to move it over a little bit closer to this setup because it's going to be going right here. So what we can do is take the cauldron, get all this stuff on the hotbar, and I'm actually going to move it out one from the wall over here just because I want to make sure I actually have access to the side that I need. I'm sure there's a way to determine it, but I actually don't know. So if we go back in here, let's check. So anvil, then stone table, cauldron, and piston. So stone table, cauldron, piston, and iron bars on top of that. Oh, I wonder if that'll be an issue. Piston orientation shouldn't be. Then we're gonna click on it. Okay, so piston orientation isn't a big deal. Okay, that's good to know. Let's get on top of anything here then. Let's break this too. Oh, break that. Let's put this down, and then let's get the iron bars on top of that. And there we go. So piston orientation did matter. So this is the Golem Press. This is where you're going to be crafting your golems. It looks relatively cool, and we do need to get some of the machina, whatever, some of that in there. And oh, okay, so we can actually touch this one now. It's not crashing us. Okay, that's good. It doesn't look super glitchy now. So we're going to put in the emptying Essentia transfuser, and we should be able to put it right over here. And I want to make sure that this is always going to be in range, so I'm going to swap this right here out with one of the other jars. So we're going to grab that, and let's swap it out with this empty. Well, those aren't filling, so I feel like those aren't in range. So let's swap it out with right there. Let's put this over here. Okay, there we go. So that should be in range when we start to use this over here. So this gets a little bit complicated. It's not super complicated, but it gets a little complicated when you come in here because you pretty much are going to determine what you want for your golem in terms of attributes, I guess you could consider them. So just to do a brief overview, the items that I'm hovering over right now that are over in the right portion of the UI are going to be the things required to craft the golem. And right now we're looking at a very basic golem. It's got a great wood body, it's got a clockwork head, basic arms, and basic legs. So you can see all of its statistics down at the bottom, which is the life, the armor, all that good stuff. And then we have a light frame. These are going to be the attributes in the center. So all this is going to give us is a light frame, which means it has increased speed and agility. But that's it. So if we do start changing things, like if we put on a smart head, it's going to be smart, still light frame, but it's going to be fragile because it's made from delicate components. So the smart head, I would consider it to be delicate considering it's got a brain in it and it's got glass. So the main thing to keep in mind is a lot of these seals will require certain attributes or prevent you from using golems if they have certain attributes. So for the ones we're going to be using today, we're going to need to have it be smart. And on top of that, we're going to need to swap out the arms. I don't know why it doesn't want to let me swap out the arms right now. Okay guys, so we are back. Now it turns out I actually did have to do a little bit of extra research to get the ability to get fine manipulators, and that is what we need to get the deft trait for the golems. Now to get this, it's actually really easy. You just need to get up to material studies brass, and that's just going to take some experience levels, so it's really not that bad. I think it's probably in total either 5 or 6, whether it's 3 for this one or 2, I can't remember. But I did go and do a ton of other research in this tab trying to figure out what we needed to do to get it because I could not find it anywhere as to what we needed to actually do. But we have it now, and if we look over, we have 4 great wood planks, 4 brass gears, a biothomic mind, and it's going to require 17 machina, so we can pretty much leave it all in our inventory. There's no storage in here that we can directly put things into. And if we were to click this button right down here that you can see highlighting that kind of looks like an anvil with a hammer on it, we should start crafting. And just keep in mind, we need the smart head because we need it to be smart. And this down here, fragile, is pretty much just going to make it so it's a little bit weaker. So you probably don't want it out where it's going to be fighting something. But we should be able to click this and we should be transferring over the Essentia and it'll finish. It's got some pretty cool animations on it. Now, if you don't have the Essentia hooked up, you can actually still start the crafting process, but the bar will not start filling up. It will consume the items, though, and keep them in an internal buffer for it, and then it'll start crafting. But we get a golem down here. It's rank 0, and you can see it's smart, deft, light frame, and fragile. So we now have everything we need to actually make this farm aside from the seeds, which are going to be over here. So I have a lot of seeds right now, and I've already set up pretty much just like a preliminary spot to work with right here. In this corner, the farm does not need to be huge, but I have the water covered by a lily pad right here just because the golems falling in the water or items falling in there, specifically items, can be a little bit of an issue because the golem won't grab them necessarily. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a bunch of these seeds, and I guess we can get out the hoe of growth. We can pretty much just hoe all of this land, and we can plant seeds in all of it, and then we can throw the rest of these in the chest right here. Okay, so we can get out the control seal provide and the control seal store, and those can both go on this chest right here. So control seal store and control seal provide. Now, if we did want to access these, we could just right click. Let's get out the Golemancer's bell. We could right click on these, and you could see that there are filters on them. There's options on these. You can set priorities for them, requirements. This one requires that it's not clumsy and it's actually smart. So that's one reason we needed the smart, and then we can use redstone controls. I'm not going to get super in depth on that in this episode. I'm just going to be going over what you need for an actual automated wheat farm. And then over here we can have another filter. We can have priority, requirements, again, just not clumsy, and you can do the redstone signals if you wanted to. Now we have the collect and harvest. So I am going to throw the collect down. Pretty much it just has to encompass this area. So I'm going to throw the collect down right here. And, oh, you know what? I should not have shift clicked on that. So we do need to get this back. We can shift right click on it, get it back. We can come over here and just plain, I guess we can't place it on a lily pad. So we'll have to place it somewhere else. Let me get out the Golemancer's bell down here. I thought we'd be able to place it on a lily pad, but I guess it registers as a block up. Can we place it below that? No, we'll just place it over here because it's really irrelevant at this point. All we got to do is just place one over here, so the control seal collect. Then we're going to click on that, and you can see the first thing that comes up is going to be the area, and you can actually see these little corner portions are going to be the area that it encompasses. So all we need to do is make it so that it encompasses one further in this direction. I guess, yeah, so one further in that direction just because items might pop off over here, and we want to make sure it encompasses an area of one around. Now, if I do expand this farm eventually, we want to change the area, and it's going to be a little bit rough with how it looks, solely because it's not, you know, perfectly symmetrical, but now we should be able to, oh my gosh, I flipped it and then screwed it up. Okay, so we'll throw it there. Everything should still be good. We gotta right click on it, and then we gotta add that much to this. No, we can take one off. We can add one to that, take one off that. Okay, yeah, so this encompasses all of them. It'll be irrelevant that it goes into the wall. The golem won't try to go in there, mainly just because there's nothing there that it could pick up. And along with that, this is only going up a height of 1, and there's nothing in there. It's a solid wall, so it can't actually go to anything. And then we're just going to throw down the control seal of collect next to that. I thought this one was collect, but I guess that one's harvest. And we can come over, we can click on this one, and we can pretty much do the same thing. So that's going to be 4. That's going to be 6, I want to say. Yeah, so that one's going to be collecting all the way over into this block just because it's over one further. So I think, yeah, we're going to have to keep it like that, though. Not that bad. I could have moved it over here if I wanted it to actually look better. Let me do that. Grab that and throw it right over here. Then we can access this, and that should be 6 and that should be 4, right? Yeah, so I think it should be lining up perfectly at this corner right here. Yeah, so it would be, what do we have it set at? 6 on east-west. So that would be 1, 2, 1. Does this count as 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this is actually overlapping right here. I wasn't able to tell, but it is overlapping, which makes it look a lot nicer. Should be affecting this whole area, and so we should be able to throw down the golem and be good to go. Once we do one last thing on the control seal of harvest, we have to go down to the requirements, and I want to show you guys this requires deft and smart. And then we go to options, and it's got replant crops on, but we need requesting provisioning on, just in case if it ever doesn't have enough seeds to replant it, it'll get them from this chest. So we take the golem out, we throw him down, and look at this little guy right here. So he'll start working once there's actually something to work on, and we can grab out the hoe of growth, and we can actually use this special ability to make that grow. And the AI on these guys is a little bit rough. It takes them a little bit to register what's actually going on, and he's going to have a little bit of an awkward run around when he does. But if we grow some of the things in there, oh great, I picked it up. He picked up some seeds though, and he drops them into the chest. He'll go and break these other ones. He'll slowly bring them back. Like I said though, the AI is a little awkward, and then he should be able to replant that crop, and he should replant this one. It might be a little bit messed up just because I kind of stole the crop from him. Yeah, so I stole some of the crops from him. But you can see the AI is a little bit weird with them. They'll kind of pick things up and put them back in and do that. But if we want to grow some more of these, let him do his work. We'll grow those. And I'm going to grab out these seeds and fix that and try and not come over here and mess up anything anymore. The fact that I picked that up kind of screwed it up. You can see he does a good job of replanting if I don't accidentally pick stuff up from it. But yeah, let's watch. Let's make sure he replants all these. Yep. There we go. Okay, so I'll just make a point of not actually coming over here that much. But yeah, so looks a little weird, but it gets the job done. And that'll help us a lot with food because as you can see, I'm running a little bit low. This is all the food I really have left at this point. But hopefully you found the episode slightly entertaining at least and very informative. If you did, please feel free to give it a like as it does help me out a lot. And I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Again, please feel free to let me know if you like the audio quality, if it sounds better, anything like that in the comments. It'll be greatly appreciated, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you've given with all the series recently. Thaumcraft series is not going anywhere. I do enjoy it. I just wanted to get the new series out and get it going a little bit because people seem to really enjoy it before actually jumping back into this. But yeah, no, thanks for all the support, and thank you for allowing me to actually get this better audio quality setup for you guys. So I'll talk to you guys later.